We are a country that hates regulation and loves free markets, even if it will be the death of all of us. That's the road we've decided to go down. And it is not lost on me that the only place, and I'm not talking about you at all here, Wilds, but the general sporting public wants extra regulations and extra rules is keeping their thumb on men's college football and basketball players. Because there is an undeniable and always has been incredibly uncomfortable racial context of the guys. It is young black men, mostly black men from mostly really tough circumstances, generating billions of dollars. And who's sharing in that? An overwhelmingly white administration, an overwhelmingly white coaching staff, and overwhelmingly white non-rev sports. How do we pay for the tennis team and the golf team? Men's football and basketball.
This is Nick Wright of Fox Sports 1 discussing NIL and collegiate sports. One may think, wow, this dude is preaching.
It's the generation me. Retiring because rehabbing is too hard is the most millennial thing ever. Hashtag Andrew Luck.
That is, unless you have followed the get off my lawn mentality of fellow network host Doug Gottlieb.
We would have never gotten to this place where you have multi-billion-dollar television contracts and the people generating the value are paid in education and room and board if it wasn't poor black kids at the forefront of being taken advantage of. And now finally, it's like, okay, you can profit off your name, image, and likeness. And as is always the case, people find workarounds to feed them money. Good. I hope it happens more. It's always been a fraud.
Hard to disagree with this dude's perspective.
Yeah, I'm just here to bring diversity to this set here. Give the kind of white man's perspective.
Again, unless you're Gottlieb. To be clear, Nick Wright is painting the picture of the for-profit business model that those in the hierarchy of the NCAA are responsible for creating while not paying who he views and I view and many others view the workers. I don't know if you've seen, according to Connecticut Senator Chris Murphy's write-up, is a lot of money. The business model has never been right. It's just what's made so many in collegiate sports so rich for so long while keeping others down. Doug Gottlieb, meanwhile, has been in sports media for quite some time. He's worked at CBS, ESPN, and now Fox Sports 1. So after Wright went off on the NCAA saying there is an undeniable, incredibly uncomfortable racial context of it is mostly young black men from mostly really tough circumstances generating billions of dollars. And who's sharing in that? An overwhelmingly white administration, an overwhelmingly white coaching staff, an overwhelmingly white non-rev sports. Well, Gottlieb barked back. This is far and away the most ridiculous fake racism take out there. For years, colleges and universities have provided educational opportunities for student athletes that have given more scholarships than any program outside of the GI Bill. Wait a minute. The irony of citing the GI Bill in a tweet that attempts to deny racism is impossible to overlook. The GI Bill is widely considered to be one of the country's worst historical racial injustices for the amount of black veterans who were denied its benefits. Aside from Gottlieb being a total dweeb when it comes to policy, where he is wrong, I am curious, is he vying for that studio job once again? Why is he defending a mega corporation with the old, outdated, flawed approach of, well, you know, kids, you go to school to get a scholarship and an education? No, we're not doing that anymore. What is his angle here to defend a corporation like the NCAA that brings in billions annually? Thus, Wright put it rather simply, always feels good to be on the opposite side of Doug on the important issues.
And you get people saying like, man, this Simone Biles and Naomi Osaka, they take so much abuse on social media. No, they don't. No, they don't.
Athletes' mental health is an important issue. However, it is one Doug does not believe in for star athletes.
Yeah, that's the point, Simone Biles. You're representing your nation, you selfish sociopath. Don't show up. She's also very selfish. She's immature. and she is a shame to the country.
You know, getting the army of Trump-supporting right-wing trolls on you for not shutting up and dribbling is not abuse in Doug's world. In pure Gottlieb fashion, when Simone Biles was named Times Athlete of the Year, he called the magazine idiots for doing so.
Yeah, I'm just here to bring diversity to this set here, give the kind of white man's perspective.
When Eric Garner was killed by the New York Police Department, NBA players donned I Can't Breathe shirts, including Derrick Rose, LeBron James, and the late Kobe Bryant. Gottlieb, in a deleted tweet, wrote, "Kobe lives in Newport Coast, takes a chopper to games, made 60 mil last 2 years. The struggles is real. Hashtag I Can't Breathe." This is essentially the line troll media dude Jason Whitlock spouted when the N-word was painted on LeBron James's house.
Racism is an issue in America, but it is primarily an issue for the poor. It's not LeBron James's issue.
Gottlieb fails to understand that being rich or living in a nice neighborhood doesn't prevent police from racially profiling people of color, as ESPN analyst and former baseball player Doug Glanville wrote about. Gottlieb fails to understand that scores of unarmed people of color are killed by police in America. Gottlieb fails to understand that the protests over the deaths of Eric Garner and Michael Brown at the hands of the police aren't only about those individuals, but about a criminal justice system designed to take black lives. Even if Kobe's wealth and stature somehow immunized him against the effects of structural and violent racism, wearing an I Can't Breathe shirt would signify that this is such an important issue that it demands supporting even by those unaffected. It could draw attention to a problem.
Yeah, I'm just here to bring diversity to this set here, give the kind of white man's perspective.
He also went after historically black colleges and universities when Travis Hunter committed to Jackson State. Gottlieb said Hunter was making a mistake, adding HBCU football doesn't have close to the same support athletically, academically, medically, and they play an inferior schedule with inferior teammates. In addition of football, any person would prefer to be a UGA, FSU, TAMU alum for help in the workforce. Longtime ESPN man Stan Verrett quoted the portion about employment futures and said of Gottlieb he obviously and predictably has no idea about the incredible disproportionate success of black HBCU grads as a percentage of professionals in nearly every field. Ignorant, but opinionated, bad combo. He should research black pharmacists from Xavier, black nurses from Dillard, business pros from FAMU, doctors from Morehouse, engineers from Southern, phenomenal women in all areas from Spelman, and US VPs from Howard, and learn something.
Yeah, I'm just here to bring diversity to this set here, give the kind of white man's perspective.
He has gone after Dominican MLB players like Adrian Beltre because, in his mind, they just dominate the performance-enhancing drugs conversation. Bomani Jones also had an opinion on Gottlieb's take, writing, "This was shameful, 'cause it was." So yes, Wright is, well, right. And he baited Gottlieb even further. After Gottlieb gave a non-answer to Wright's response, Wright wrote, "Your tweet doesn't address what I'm talking about in that clip, but since you said my take was the most ridiculous fake racism take out there, that implies you have a mental list of the other fake racism takes. Care to share them? I'd love to hear what the others are." And to that I say, Nick, I hope you enjoyed our piece, because the answers to that question, they were right in front of you.